In a cramped attic rattling with rain, forbidden stories travel faster than sleep. A fearless adult woman whispers legends of ocean horrors, her voice sharp with hunger for escape, knowing dawn will punish curiosity but never extinguish it. In a cramped attic rattling with rain, forbidden stories travel faster than sleep. A fearless adult woman whispers legends of ocean horrors, her voice sharp with hunger for escape, knowing dawn will punish curiosity but never extinguish it. By dawn, the harbor breathes salt and iron. Ships groan awake while rumors ripple across the docks, all pointing towards something massive stirring beyond mapped waters, something old enough to scare veterans silent. A horn sounds, sharp with urgency. Sightings confirm the nightmare's return, and the obsessive captain's single eye burns with purpose, convinced the ocean itself owes him vengeance for past wounds. A horn sounds, sharp with urgency. Sightings confirm the nightmare's return, and the obsessive captain's single eye burns with purpose, convinced the ocean itself owes him vengeance for past wounds. A horn sounds, sharp with urgency. Sightings confirm the nightmare's return, and the obsessive captain's single eye burns with purpose, convinced the ocean itself owes him vengeance for past wounds. The captain orders cannons primed, ignoring caution. The hunter hesitates only a breath before committing, knowing once steel flies, the sea will demand payment in blood or silence. The first flare screams into fog, and the ocean answers. Water bulges, birds scatter upward, and instinct screams too late that the threat is no longer ahead, but beneath them. The monster erupts in a violent arc, overturning men and certainty alike. Decks tilt, ropes snap, and survival becomes individual as the beast's presence collapses order into chaos. Tentacles or limbs coil and strike, pulling sailors screaming into darkness. The hunter moves without thought, cutting lines, dragging bodies free, every second stolen from death itself. The captain charges forward, fury overriding fear, stabbing into armored flesh. For a moment, victory seems possible, until the ocean reminds them it never grants mercy cleanly. A sudden blow sends the hunter airborne, body vanishing beneath waves. Cold crushes breath as massive shapes coil nearby, deciding whether he is prey or problem. Dragged across armored ridges, the hunter clings, stabbing blindly. Pain ripples through the beast, forcing it to surface and expose vulnerabilities no map ever recorded. The captain delivers a brutal strike that drives the creature under, but triumph dies instantly. A final grasp drags him into darkness, proving the sea always collects interest. Silence follows wreckage. Survivors cling to debris, unsure who still breathes. The monster vanishes, leaving behind broken wood and a debt far from settled. Against expectation, the captain resurfaces, alive and furious. Loss sharpens obsession, and retreat feels like betrayal, even as the ship limps toward home. That night, the captain summons the hunter, offering praise edged with destiny. He speaks of inheritance and unfinished wars, binding future command to vengeance. Home greets them with cheers and lies. The harbor celebrates victory, unaware the greatest threat still swims free, watching, learning, waiting. The fearless woman locks eyes with the hunter, admiration unmasked. She speaks of joining the hunt, believing legends more honest than rules written by cowards. The hunter refuses, forcing distance through authority, not cruelty. As she's dragged away, destiny tightens its grip, already plotting their collision with the truth beneath the waves. The following morning, the harbor empties into marble halls where power pretends to listen. The captain presents proof of victory, but the throne's disappointment cuts deeper than insult, stripping hunters of purpose with polished smiles. A new warship is unveiled, larger and colder than any before it. Authority shifts instantly, and tradition is discarded, igniting the captain's rage as years of bloodshed are reduced to ceremony. Before violence erupts, the hunter steps forward with calculated defiance. He proposes a final hunt, winner taking legacy itself, knowing pride will always outrun caution in men like the captain. The challenge is accepted with grins sharpened by politics. By nightfall, two fleets prepare for waters uncharted, where maps end and instincts either sharpen or break entirely. Below deck, barrels are counted and weapons reimagined. The hunter adjusts tools for armor thicker than iron, knowing arrows are insults to something born of storms. A barrel shifts when it shouldn't. Inside, the fearless woman emerges, eyes blazing with triumph rather than fear, forcing the hunter to confront a choice he tried to bury. The captain considers throwing her overboard, then stops. Recognition flickers. He has seen this defiance before, long ago, staring back at him from younger eyes. Night falls as flares ignite forbidden waters. The sea responds instantly, rippling with intelligence rather than hunger, and tension coils tighter than any rope. Birds scatter upward in panic. The hunter recognizes the sign too late as the ship shudders, dragged forward by unstoppable force beneath the waves. Harpoons bite deep, ropes scream under strain, and the monster answers by spinning the ocean itself. Men fall, decks tilt, and the ship begins to lose the argument. The fearless woman sees what veterans refuse to admit. She cuts the ropes without hesitation, choosing survival over obedience as the hunter realizes she is right. The ship lurches free, but balance is the price. Both are thrown into black water as the monster vanishes downward, taking certainty with it. They surface together, gasping, clinging to a drifting skiff. Behind them, the captain aims judgment through iron sights, unwilling to forgive what pride cannot survive. The sea interrupts. The monster rises and swallows the skiff whole, plunging hunter and stowaway into living darkness filled with echoing breath. The sea interrupts. The monster rises and swallows the skiff whole, plunging hunter and stowaway into living darkness filled with echoing breath. They climb upward toward air, bound by rope and trust. When the creature sneezes violently, the hunter is flung skyward, saved only by instinct and a tree's stubborn grip. Face to face at last, the monster pauses. The hunter prepares to strike, but the fearless woman cuts the rope, refusing to let fear dictate another war. A massive wave answers the aborted attack, forcing distance. The creature retreats, uninterested in conquest, leaving questions heavier than any weapon. They seek shelter inland as unfamiliar cries echo through foliage. Night brings rain, arguments, and the uncomfortable realization that survival sometimes means listening. At dawn, small creatures scatter beneath careless steps. Eggs crack, and the jungle answers with screams that summon something far larger and far angrier. They flee to the shore, launching a fragile boat as a colossal guardian approaches. Escape seems impossible until the red giant returns, interposing itself without hesitation. Another monster attacks, all claws and hunger. The red giant engages with terrifying grace, proving not all power seeks domination. Thrown into water, the fearless woman vanishes. Panic grips the hunter until she resurfaces, carried gently by a small creature once dismissed as vermin. With their boat failing, she communicates through gesture and offering. To disbelief, the red giant understands, lifting them towards safety instead of silence. Guidance becomes dance. She signals direction through motion while the hunter watches beliefs unravel one revelation at a time. Elsewhere, obsession leads the captain to forbidden shores. A cloaked figure offers power at unbearable cost, and he accepts without hesitation. Storms force shelter beneath the sea itself. In glowing depths, the hunter witnesses wreckage and bones, history's proof that this war devoured everyone equally. Understanding finally eclipses instinct. The hunter admits aloud that killing never protected anything except lies. They reach a quiet island where farewells hover unspoken. The hunter plans to return her to safety, unaware how much the sea has already rewritten them both. The red giant stiffens, sensing steel before sound. On the horizon, the new warship approaches, bristling with weapons and certainty. Cannons roar, tearing water apart. The red giant retaliates, splitting hulls and shattering myths with equal force. Amid chaos, a poisoned weapon strikes true. The giant falters, stunned and bound, dragged toward judgment it never agreed to face. The hunter watches helplessly as nets tighten. Victory tastes hollow, coated in betrayal and regret. On deck, the fearless woman wakes to chains and lies. Rage replaces fear as she realizes the truth must be cut free, rope by rope. She seeks help in unlikely eyes, and conscience finally stirs. A single strike severs obedience along with the rope. The red giant collapses against stone and ship alike, shaking the city awake. Panic spreads faster than orders. The captain charges, intent on final proof. The fearless woman steps between spear and truth, daring the world to stop lying. The hunter joins her, breaking the weapon and the legacy it represents. Silence crashes harder than any wave. Voices rise from the crowd, rejecting the script they were fed. Power falters when belief withdraws consent. Freed at last, the red giant turns toward open horizon. The hunter and the fearless woman climb aboard, choosing exile over obedience as the sea opens ahead. The horizon swallows the city behind them as waves smooth into endless blue. Freedom feels fragile atop the giant's moving crown, and the hunter senses pursuit long before sails cut the distance. Smoke blooms behind them, signals, not celebration. The fearless woman tightens her grip on rope and resolve, understanding that truth angers those who profit from fear. Below the surface, the giant adjusts course with intention. The hunter realizes they are being shielded, not carried, as currents bend away from incoming steel. Night falls fast, bringing a wall of rain. Lightning reveals shadows of ships closing in, and every flash writes a countdown across the water. The giant dives, drawing them into a cathedral of pressure and glow. Storm noise vanishes, replaced by the slow thunder of the deep, where pursuit cannot follow blindly. Bioluminescent currents outline scars on the giant's hide. The hunter traces them with his eyes, counting centuries of wounds mistaken for savagery. A struggling laborer and his adult son cross paths with something impossible. Pride, debt, and a strange discovery collide in a city that never forgives. Keywords: cinematic story, sci-fi drama, perseverance, mystery artifact. A familiar silhouette emerges through smoke, the captain's ship, driven by obsession sharpened into madness. He has traded honor for certainty and intends to collect. Explosions rake the water. The giant absorbs impacts meant for smaller lives, refusing to retaliate while protecting those who chose differently. The fearless woman signals a narrow passage ahead, reefs that punish heavy hulls. The hunter hesitates, then trusts motion over memory. The fearless woman signals a narrow passage ahead, reefs that punish heavy hulls. The hunter hesitates, then trusts motion over memory. The captain refuses to yield, firing blindly through smoke. His ship limps onward, a wound that will not stop bleeding. They reach open water again, but the price is steep. The giant's movements slow, poison still biting where steel found flesh. The hunter fashions a plan from remnants, heat, leverage, timing. Not to kill, but to free what clings and burns from within. He dives, counting heartbeats, reaching the embedded weapon. Pain blooms as poison clouds the water, but the blade finally comes free. The giant convulses, then steadies. A low sound rolls through the sea, not rage, but relief echoing like thunder. Behind them, the captain's ship closes one final time. Pride drives him closer than sense allows, and the sea sharpens its teeth. A hidden swell lifts, then drops. The captain's hull grounds hard, momentum spent, engines choking on water and denial. A hidden swell lifts, then drops. The captain's hull grounds hard, momentum spent, engines choking on water and denial. The captain locks eyes across the water, fury dissolving into disbelief. He is left with noise, smoke, and nothing left to command. Distance grows. The fearless woman exhales, shoulders finally lowering as the sea reclaims its quiet authority. They pass through warm currents carrying life instead of wreckage. Schools scatter like silver thoughts, unafraid. At a remote atoll, the giant slows. The hunter understands this is not a destination but a boundary, where paths diverge by choice. They dismount, feet in shallow water. Gratitude replaces words as the giant waits, patient and watchful. The hunter offers a vow without ceremony, to guard stories, not sharpen lies. The sea listens. The fearless woman nods, eyes fixed forward. She chooses a life between worlds, not above them. The giant turns away, sinking with a final ripple. Absence feels earned, not lost. They build a small fire as dusk paints the sky. For the first time, Silence does not threaten. The hunter sets old tools aside, choosing utility over trophies. The sea has already taken enough. They plan routes that avoid ports and lies, guided by stars that never demanded blood. Morning brings clear water and resolve. The ocean stretches open, an invitation without conditions. They push off together, neither leading nor following. Balance replaces command. A distant shape surfaces once, then vanishes, a silent acknowledgement shared and complete. They sail on, carrying no proof but their lives. The war ends not with victory, but with refusal. Behind them, stories collapse under scrutiny. Ahead, possibility widens with every mile. The fearless woman smiles without triumph. Peace, she learns, is quieter than applause. The hunter breathes deeply, finally unburdened. The sea answers with steady wind. No banners follow them. Only water, sky, and a future chosen rather than seized. The ocean keeps its secrets and honors its witnesses. Balance returns, fragile and real. They disappear into blue, not as hunters or fugitives, but as caretakers of a truth strong enough to outlive fear. Weeks pass as the ocean rewrites their routine. The hunter relearns patience without targets, while the fearless woman maps currents instead of escape routes, both discovering how quiet survival reshapes purpose. They anchor near drifting kelp forests rich with life. Food comes easily now, not stolen through violence but gathered through observation and restraint. At night, distant thunder reminds them of what they escaped. The hunter keeps watch, not for enemies, but for storms that no oath can stop. One dawn, the sea grows unnaturally still. The giant surfaces far away, scarred but steady, a living confirmation that mercy altered more than one fate. The hunter lowers his head in silent acknowledgement. No commands pass between them, only recognition earned through refusal to kill. The giant slips beneath the surface, leaving ripples that widen into calm. The fearless woman exhales, knowing some goodbyes are meant to be brief. Far behind them, rumors spread faster than truth. Ports whisper of a failed hunt, a disgraced captain, and a monster that chose not to destroy. Stripped of command, the captain faces silence for the first time. Obsession collapses inward, leaving only the echo of choices that cannot be undone. The sea offers no judgment, only distance. His story ends not with glory, but irrelevance, an ending sharper than death for men like him. Unaware of the fallen empire behind them, the pair chart a course toward warmer waters. Survival now depends on cooperation, not conquest. They encounter other travelers, fisherfolk who fear storms, not legends. Help is exchanged without demands, proof that the world still works without monsters to hate. That night, the hunter tells the truth of the past without decoration. The fearless woman listens, not to forgive, but to understand how lies are built. Understanding changes nothing, and everything. From now on, stories will be warnings, not weapons. A storm tests them days later, brutal and honest. They survive through timing and trust, proving growth where fear once ruled. When calm returns, neither celebrates. Survival no longer needs applause. They reach waters unmarked by flags or fear. The ocean here feels older, untouched by hunts and lies alike. The fearless woman smiles, not from victory, but from belonging. She no longer runs toward danger to feel alive. The hunter sets his final weapon overboard. It vanishes without ceremony, claimed by the same sea that once demanded its use. No music marks the moment. Only the sound of water closing over iron, sealing a chapter permanently. They sail onward with no banners and no pursuit. The sea accepts them as they are, neither heroes nor hunters, only survivors who chose truth. Far below, the giant moves through dark currents, alive and unchained. Balance returns to depths long ruled by fear. Above, the surface reflects a quieter sky. The war ends not with treaties, but with absence. They agree to keep moving, carrying stories forward instead of chains. Memory becomes protection. The fearless woman takes the helm without asking. Trust has replaced command. The hunter watches, satisfied. Leadership now means knowing when to step back. Wind fills the sail, steady and forgiving. The future opens without resistance. No monster rises. No cannon fires. Peace proves itself through silence. Their vessel shrinks against the endless blue. The sea keeps moving, as it always has, indifferent yet fair. Legends will change because someone lived long enough to question them. That is the true danger to fear. And so the ocean closes behind them, not as a graveyard, but as a road, ending the hunt forever.